Good morning, students. Welcome to class 4 of Business Environment. Business is the economic activity. Business is prevailing in the society, which means society is expecting something. So here, business has some contribution towards society. So economic growth of society depends upon the prevailing business environment. So environment of business is a determinant by the role played by the major players. So today we are going to discuss who are those major players in the business environment. The first is customer. So we treat customer as a king of market or king of a business. So success of any business depends upon how much loyal the customer is towards your business and how much support you get from your customers. So some says that business is creation of customers. So the purpose of business is to satisfy the customer's wants. So kindly note there is a difference between need and want. Need means basic necessity. Want means the desires. So for example, I am thirsty. I want to drink something. So this is the basic need, right? I need water. This is the basic need. Suppose I say I am thirsty but I need some particular juice itself. So it becomes want. So the customers will have some wants. And when the business is ready to fulfill such wants of customers, only then we can say the business will be successful. So the firms which are successful in satisfying the wants of the customers can make the profit, right? So your motive is to get the profit. So how you are going to get the profit? You have to satisfy the wants of the customers. So only then you are going to get the profit. So you should have loyalty and a continuous support from the customers, and that will take you to the height or business, that will take the business to the new heights. Okay, suppose you want to survive, suppose you want to get the prosper in your business. So whatever policies you make in your business, that should be customers concerned or according to the wishes of customers. So without the support of your customers, your business cannot prevail or business cannot exist, right? The next is your workers and unions. So first point says that customer is a king. So when customer is a king, your workers, so the workers or the employees who are working in your business, so they are the backbone of the business. So what does this backbone mean? Which mean the great support. So can you say, being a single entrepreneur or I being a businessman, I am going to carry out all the work individually. So is it possible? No. Only when you have a support of your employees, only then you can say that you can have a good success in your business. So the workers and unions are the backbone of business, or the employees are the support for your business. So success of business depends upon how much support and cooperation you are going to get from the workers and their unions, right? So business must have a good relationship with your workers. So what happens if there is no good relationship between the business and the workers or the employer and the employee? So very simple. So you will be having frequent labor problems. So what are the consequences of those problems? It may be strikes, it may be lockouts, it may be the non-cooperative attitude, so that can harm the interest of the organization and also the worker. So which means all the work will cut down there, right? So the next player is the government and political parties. So we have heard about economic policies. So economic policies of the government so gives the direction in which business activity will have the progress. So there are various policies. So it may be the monetary policy, it may be the trade policy, it may be the fiscal policy, investment policy. So these are the debatable topics which are decided in the parliament. So we know in the parliament we have two parties. One is ruling party and the opposition party. So what they do? They are going to decide upon it. So they conduct the debate and they are going to decide upon it, right? So this is the important in deciding these policies. Okay, what they do is regarding the trade policy, regarding the investment policy, regarding the fiscal policy, regarding the monetary policy. So they are going to discuss in the parliament and they are going to come out with a certain policy. And the policy what they are going to make, so that will decide which activity of business will have progress. Then the next is the suppliers. So what suppliers do? Supplier means the one who is going to supply. So what they are going to supply? Raw material, right? Raw material. Simply providing the raw material or simply supplying the raw material will not make your business success. Whatever supply you are going to get from your supplier or the raw materials and the components what you are going to get, so that should be of quality, right? So that should be of quality, plus it should be at a reasonable rate. Success of business depends upon the support it receives from its suppliers. So support it receives from its suppliers. So we want raw materials, we want quality product. So quality product, components at the reasonable rate. So here that will be depending on the cost of the raw material is important element in deciding the cost of product. So the cost of product is very important. Why? On the basis of the cost of product you are going to fix the profit margin and then you are going to fix a price for your product, right? So how we are going to fix the price? You need the cost of product first. So the cost of product depends upon how much you are going to pay it to your raw materials and components what you get it from your suppliers. So success of business depends upon assured supply of quality raw materials at reasonable cost. Reasonable cost means at the reasonable rate what you are going to get it. Then the next is intermediaries. So who are intermediaries? So intermediaries are the link between the manufacturer and the consumer. So you are the manufacturer, you are going to produce something. So whatever you are going to produce, so if you are going to keep it in your factory or storeroom itself, so what happens? So you are not going to create any sales, you will not get any profit. So who will help you to move those products to the final consumer? So they are the intermediaries, right? So intermediaries are the link between the manufacturers and the final consumers. So there are various intermediaries. So it may be a wholesaler, retailer, commission agents, etc. So what they do? They are going to create a place and time utility by storing and moving the goods and making them available to the customers, right? Or the final consumers. So what does it mean? They are going to create a place and time utility. Place for what? Storing your product. Time for what? Moving the goods. So moving the goods to the final consumer. So success of business depends upon its supply chain management. Supply chain management means, so we can say wholesaler to retailer, retailer to the final consumer. So it is a chain, right? So it is a supply chain management. So the success of business depends upon the supply chain management. So only when the business have the good relationship with their entrepreneurs, so they can sell the goods very effectively. Then the next is publics. So publics are the public represent people and the organization, right? So business to be successful must conduct its activity in an ethical manner. So what is this ethical now? Ethical is nothing but ethical is to know what is good and to know what is bad, right? So that is called as ethical. So fair and ethical manner means you have to do something good, okay, and whatever decision you take, so that must not harm the interest of the society and its people. So business must exercise good relationship with public in order to get the favorable opinion in the society. So when the business is recognized as a good business in the society, so when the business do some favorable things to the society, right? So favorable things means it should not conduct any unethical or malpractices, so it should be fair and in a ethical manner, right? So here publics are the people and the organizations. So people and organizations means like a consumer forms, then the human right activities, then the media, press, etc. Then the next is competitors. Competitors are the most important player. Why? Competitor has to function under the the business has to compete under the function under the competitive environment. Competitors play an important role in increasing the competitiveness of the business. So what is this competitiveness now? Suppose you are studying. So in the BCom first semester, so we have various students there, right? So the one is willing to score 90 and above. So what you are going to do? You are going to find out who is your competitor. Suppose you want to be first in the class, you should know who is your competitor first. Who will be your competitor? The one who is scoring 80% or the one who is scoring 50% or the one who is equal or above your scoring. So the one who is scoring nearer to you, so he may be your nearest competitor. So in order to compete, you have to frame some strategies, right? So if it is in business, you should have a strategies like how to reduce the cost, how to reduce the price, how to make your product more attractive to the public. So these are the strategies what you are going to frame in order to face the competition. So not only concentrating on these strategies or means not only concentrating on your own strategies, but also you should concentrate on the strategies that is framed by your competitor. So whatever strategies that is been framed by your competitor, so you should know that, so that you can make such strategies so that where a competitor cannot beat you, right? So frame such strategies so those strategies which the competitor cannot overcome. Then the next is trade associations. So trade associations, so these are the organizations that protect the interest of the business. So people who are doing business will become the member of such association. So what they do, they are going to meet regularly, discuss some problems that are faced by them. So they make the common representation to the government to get the necessary facilities. So these associations play an important role in influencing the economic policy of the government. Through such organization, they get necessary incentives, facilities from the government. So what they do? The one who is going to do the business will join this association, and regularly they are going to meet and discuss whatever problem is being faced by them. And as a common representation, they are going to make the representation to the government, so to get the necessary facilities. So what happens? You are going to get the facilities, or we can say it is a role role of getting economic policies of government. Through such organization, they get the necessary incentives, facilities from the government. Then last is financial institutions. So we need finance. Finance means the large amount of money that is being managed by the big business organizations. We call it as finance, right? So business need finance to invest in its current assets and fixed assets. So existence of financial institutions like banks, mutual funds, stock exchange, etc. So they help the business to meet out their financial needs. These institutions collects the savings of people, and that savings will be made available for investment in the business. So what the financial institution does? So financial institution is a link between the savers and the investors, we can say. So what you do, whatever savings or household savings you are going to collect, so those household savings you are going to convert it into investment. So what you are going to do, you are converting that savings into investment. So when you are going to invest, what happens? The company is or the business is going to get the money. Financial need of the business is met. So who is going to do all these things? It is done by the financial institutions. Thank you.